Psychopaths. I say this, I hope, non-naively. Also having dealt with psychopaths in my clinical practice, and I would say now and then in my life, I don't believe in psychopaths. I don't believe that we know enough to say there are people born without conscience. I don't think the psychometric measurement of psychopathy is everything that it should be. I've been trying to model it in the big 5 domain. I think, now it's complicated because, so I would say a psychopath, a classic psychopath, is likely extroverted, especially assertive, disagreeable, and unconscientious, and maybe extremely low in neuroticism, so you can't frighten them. But, so that's a rare combination because it's extreme on many traits, right? But that, I don't believe that that means that someone with that personality configuration is doomed from birth to a pathological existence, because there's things about psychopathy that the classifiers, those who claim, like Cleckley, that the psychopath is born in some sense, can't explain. It's like, well, what about the cruelty? There seems to be a motive there. You know, they're passionless and they lack emotion. Well, why are they cruel then? For entertainment? Well, but then you have to explain the entertainment motivation. Like, there's a failure in some sense with the classic psychopathy theorists to come to grips with the problem of malevolence. It's skirted over, and you can't do that if you're talking about psychopathy. It's like malevolence is the bloody issue here. And so the other issue with the psychopath is that he's irredeemable, right? That's the idea. I don't think we know enough to make such claims. Now, and that doesn't, I know the psychopathy literature quite well, and I have great respect for the primary researchers in the field. I want to make that perfectly clear. But we're talking at a different, we're approaching the problem from a different level of analysis here, something like a spiritual level of analysis. And I don't think that there's an easy translation from the descriptive, psychometric, psychiatric approach to the spiritual level. They don't match. And I'm more likely to say, let's not assume the soul is doomed from birth, right? And I'm loath to think that there are people born irredeemable. Although I do think there are irredeemable people. You know, the death penalty issue is interesting in that regard, you know, because I've read a lot about really terrible people. And I've also read a lot about what really terrible people said about themselves. And many of them wished for the death penalty. And so it's absolutely clear that there are things that you can do that deserve the death penalty. But that doesn't mean that the state should have the right to impose it. That's a different question. So, yeah.